Beneath the Fog, an original. Written by What the Prompt. You know how in movies, when the main character finally graduates, they just throw their cap in the air, smile into the sunset, and suddenly life becomes this grand adventure? Yeah, I thought that too. My name's Leah, and a week after graduation, I packed my things, just one suitcase and a duffel bag, and drove west. My parents had one rule: graduate first, then do whatever I wanted. So, I did. They thought I'd travel for a bit. Maybe Europe, maybe Bali. But honestly, I didn't want flights. I wanted to drive on roads, windows rolled down, music blasting, nothing but the sound of tires and daydreams. It wasn't even about the destination. I just wanted to move, to feel like I was finally in control of something. The first few hours were perfect. I sang to old playlists, stopped for gas station snacks, even took photos of the clouds like some Pinterest cliche. I was free. Actually free. But around the 6th hour, things changed. The road stretched thinner, no more signs, no more billboards, just endless dry landscape on both sides and not a single car in sight. Then my car started to cough. You know the sound, and before I could even process it, it just stopped. Right there, in the middle of nowhere. I tried the ignition once, twice, nothing, no signal either. Of course, frustrated, I pulled out my phone to check the time. I don't know why. It wasn't like I had anywhere to be, but the screen lit up instantly. Full battery, 100%. That was odd. I hadn't charged it all day. And then I saw the date. 5 years ahead. I blinked, checked again. It still read the same. 5 years from the day I left. I tried refreshing, powering off, even tossing it onto the passenger seat and picking it back up like that would fix anything. But it stayed there, glowing calmly, like it knew something I didn't. That's when I stepped out, hoping to flag someone down. Maybe get directions, maybe get answers. But there were no cars, no people. And where my car had been moments later, nothing. Just gravel and wind. I spun around, trying to anchor myself to find any logic in this sudden emptiness. And then I saw it. A fog. Not the normal kind. It didn't roll in from a distance. It just appeared, like a curtain being pulled, thick and slow, and as it moved, it revealed something I swear wasn't there before. A little town. No joke. A full-on town with cobbled streets and lights in the windows, like something out of a storybook, tucked in between hills I swear hadn't been on the map. It didn't even look abandoned. It looked lived in. Peaceful, even. I should have questioned it more, but when you're stranded and cold, logic takes a back seat. So, I grabbed my bags and walked. And the second my foot crossed into the fog, everything changed. The air felt warmer, like summer, like it hadn't just been gray skies moments before. Birds were chirping. Actual birds. The first person I met was a woman hanging laundry on a line. She looked up and smiled like she'd been expecting me. "Welcome," she said. "You found your way." I smiled back, confused. "Is there a mechanic around here? My car broke down just outside of town." "Oh, there's no cars here," she said casually, like it was the most normal thing in the world. "But don't worry, everything you need's right here." I told myself she was just old-fashioned. I stayed in an inn that night, an actual wooden inn with quilts and creaky stairs. But the food was warm, and the bed was softer than anything I'd ever slept on. I was going to leave the next morning. But then I met him, Elias. He was sitting outside the bakery, reading something that looked way too old to be a magazine. We got to talking. He was funny, charming in a quiet sort of way. One day turned to 2, then 3, then a week. I know what you're thinking. Leah, what are you doing? But it didn't feel weird. It felt safe, like I was exactly where I was supposed to be. I wasn't chasing anything anymore. I was in it. Elias and we fell fast. But it never felt rushed. It felt timeless. We'd walk by the lake, make stupid jokes, talk about dreams. He told me he used to be a writer, said words always made more sense than people. I laughed at that, because same, we grew close, the kind of close where silence felt just as good as conversation. We built a life somehow, simple, quiet. Then, days turned into seasons. And one morning, I woke up to sunlight spilling through the curtains. Our room felt emptier than usual. Elias wasn't there. At first, I didn't panic. He probably went for a walk, but he didn't come back that day. Or the next. I asked around. People just smiled gently, said things like, "He'll turn up, they always do." They? What do you mean, they? I searched every corner of that town. Nothing. No sign of him. Not even a note. And then the nausea started. I took a test. Positive. I was pregnant, and suddenly, everything that had felt warm and magical started to feel off. I realized I didn't know how I got here. Like, really how. And when I asked about calling someone, anyone, they'd tilt their heads and say, "Why would you want to leave?" That's when it hit me. No one ever did leave. There were no kids in town, no old people either. Everyone looked somewhere between 20 and 40. Everyone always had time. No one ever mentioned the past. It was like the town existed outside of time. And maybe I'd been too blinded by love and comfort to notice. That night, I searched Elias's old things. I found a notebook. Most of the pages were blank, but one had writing. "Leah, if you're reading this, then I'm already gone. I've tried to leave before, tried to find you again, but the town doesn't like that. It keeps us, resets us. I don't know how or why, but it chooses. And I think this time, it chose you. Please remember me. Please don't let it take that too." I read that page 100 times, and I swore I'd never forget him. But last week, I forgot the sound of his voice. It just slipped away. This morning, I stared at my reflection and didn't recognize my own face for a second. My son, he's 2 now. Or at least, he looks 2. He doesn't grow the way kids should. Some days, it's like time pauses for him. Other days, he says things he shouldn't know yet. He laughs like Elias. Has his eyes, too. And when he sleeps, I wonder if he dreams of the outside world. One he's never seen. One I barely remember. I used to call my parents every Sunday. Mom would ask if I was eating enough. Dad would ask about gas prices like he was making conversation, but I knew it meant he was worried. They were so proud when I graduated. We took a photo together, me in my cap and gown, them smiling like they'd finally exhaled after 4 long years. They promised I could go anywhere I wanted after college, as long as I finished, and I did. But I never meant to vanish. I wonder if they think I just disappeared on purpose. If they checked my room for clues. If they filed reports. If they still check their phones, waiting for a text from me that will never come. My friends. I was supposed to meet up with them for a reunion 5 years after graduation. They probably think I ghosted. Or worse. And the scariest thought isn't that they've forgotten me. It's that they've remembered me every day since I left. Some days, I stare out at the fog and wonder what would happen if I walked into it. Would I end up back on that broken road with my dead car and half a tank of dreams? Would I even be myself anymore? And then I think about my son. What would I do? Should I leave him behind? Take him with me? What if the fog doesn't let children through? What if it takes him somewhere else? What if it takes him from me entirely? I lie awake thinking about packing a bag. Just one this time. 1 bag. 1 baby. And enough hope to last until sunrise. But then I hear him stir in the other room. I hear his tiny feet on the wood floors. His soft voice calling out, "Mama?" And I stay, because I don't know what's out there anymore. But I know what's here. Still, part of me wonders, what if the real world did move on? What if I really have been gone 5 years? Maybe 6? Or 7? What if no one remembers me? And the worst part? What if I've forgotten something even more important than that?